We're very proud today to have a dear friend of ours, Fireman Mark Tayler, who is a co-author of a book, The Trump Prophecies, that many of you have heard about. Mark talked with us back in November before the holidays in a tremendous interview, and we're so grateful that he took the time today to come back and discuss some other things that's on his heart and what's going on in the country spiritually. And Mark, you're on the phone with us. So good to have you today, brother. And
thank you for having me, brother. It's an honor to be back.
Mark, we've entered a new year of 2018, and I guess the best place to start with this today is I just wanted to get your thoughts. We discussed quite a bit last time we just chatted about the corruption in D.C., of course, and the things that's going on in the White House and over the nation. We're entering the new year, and I'm just curious what your general feelings are as we enter 2018. What are some of the things that the Lord's telling you that's ahead for the country and President Trump and the church in general, as you've been feeling in the Spirit, what the Spirit's telling you?
Well, probably one of the biggest things is the cleaning house. You know, I did an interview not quite a year ago on a television interview I did, and I said the Lord was releasing like 4 objectives. And the third objective of that was going to be when they start rounding up these people for these indictments and stuff like that there could be some civil unrest. And the third objective for the Army of God was going to be to pray against that civil unrest, that divine justice would be served without any backlash from the enemy, or we could have the opportunity to mitigate a lot of this civil unrest that could possibly be coming. So that's one of the things that I think that's where we're at right now, this third objective, because they're fixing to, I believe, drop the hammer on a lot of these people, and they're going to start rounding these guys up, and it could possibly end up in some civil unrest in some areas of the country. That's one of the things that the Lord's been showing me, that the Army of God needs to come together in unity and be praying that the Lord intervenes and stop a lot of that. Now, I think a lot of this stuff, possibly, you know, it's hard to get the timing of anything prophetically, so to speak, but I think a lot of this stuff from what I'm hearing in the natural and seeing in the natural, like some military friends and stuff like that, a lot of this stuff's going to start to go down in the month of February. So we're only a couple of weeks away from where some of this big stuff may begin to start to happen. So, and it's funny because if they do pick the month of February to start rounding these people up, that's usually the coldest month of the year for the entire country. So that would keep a lot of people off the streets, if you know what I mean.
Right. Well, Mark, I tell you, you know, and let's face it, these people that are so ingrained in the swamp, as we call it in D.C., it's like any swamp. You go in and start cleaning out a swamp, you're going to get snakes, you're going to get things that are not good, and I don't think that a political swamp is going to be any different. These people are not going to go down without a fight, and certainly without not, you know, I looked at Eric Holder and some of the tweets that he made even over the holidays when it seemed that the media got some kind of wild hair that President Trump was going to fire Robert Mueller. And, you know, he was calling for a call to the streets already and saying if he does that, we need to take up arms and yada, yada, yada. And that's coming from the former Attorney General of the United States. And that, to me, that was so hideous. And again, the media just yawned at that, but that was a pretty big deal that you'd have a former law, you know, the top law officer of the country saying something like that, to even insinuate to do that, because he knows what's going to happen. And these people they're not good people, Mark. They're very evil.
No, look, they are the enemy right now. His timeline has been denied. I think we talked about this in the last program, where God has denied the enemy's timeline. God doesn't go by any man's written timeline, period. So the enemy has his timeline, God has his. And what's happening is that they know through Donald Trump that the enemy's timeline has been totally denied, and they are panicking. They also know these indictments are coming. They're not stupid. They know this stuff's coming. They know Gitmo's being beefed up right now because they're fixing to have some high-profile clientele go in there. And so, I mean, they are in literal panic mode right now. So you're seeing the enemy pull out every single weapon of their arsenal right now. All kinds of stuff you're going to see come to fruition. It's already started. I mean, it's been going on. I mean, we've seen stuff, like the Vegas shooting. We've seen the fires. We've seen the hurricanes. All this stuff, all this witchcraft stuff that's coming about is because the enemy's pulling out every weapon of his warfare because he knows his time is short because they're being exposed. God's going to clean house.
Where does this come into play also, Mark, with the situation with the former presidents? I know the last time we talked, you said something very intriguing, and of all the comments you made, I got the most response from the one where the Lord told you that, of course, this was when both Bushes, Clinton, Obama, and I think Carter was with him. There was 5 presidents that were on stage in Houston trying to, act like they had come to the great rescue of all the Harvey victims, and President Trump had done nothing almost, the way they looked at it. And you made the comment, 2 will be taken, 3 will be shaken. And I'm just curious what you see about our former presidents, because, there are a lot, all of them are corrupt. They're globalists. They're people that try to bring America into this one world order while they were in power. And they got to be sitting around looking at this and got to be a little nervous themselves, too.
Oh, absolutely. If I was those guys, I'd be quaking right now, because the Lord said 2 will be taken and 3 will be shaken. In other words, 2 will be taken from the face of the earth. God's going to remove them. And 3 will be shaken, which means they can face possible prison time. I know 1 for sure, 2 possibly, and there could also be all 3 of what's left going to prison at this point, because God is going to basically set an example that it doesn't matter if you hold the highest office in the land, you're going to be held accountable. But either way, those 3 will be shaken. So, you're going to see stuff come out on these guys, what they were involved in, even the Bushes. Clinton is no great surprise. Obama's no great surprise. But I think the one that's been hidden the most was Bush 43. And I think you're going to see some things come out on Bush 43, what he was involved in. He's even going to be shaken. So, you're going to see a lot of stuff come out, and you're going to see a lot of justice being served in the next 2 or 3 months, probably.
That's incredible. And again, as you said, the army of God needs to begin to pray, because you're predicting that there's going to be great civil unrest. There's already civil unrest in the country.
I want to go back to something you said just a second ago, brother, about the civil unrest stuff. I don't want to put fear in people right now. What I want to make people understand is that there is a possibility that we could have some civil unrest in certain parts of the country. But as the army of God, we can mitigate that, and we've been praying against this now for a good 8 months. So what we're praying for and what we're believing for is that a lot of this stuff will be mitigated, because that executive order that Trump signed on December 21st, a friend of mine had read it on one of his interviews that I've done interviews with for Greg Hunter, and he went line by line on that executive order. And that executive order means a lot. I want people to understand this. If they haven't researched that, go back and look at it, because it says any and all corruption, and any of those who are involved in corruption, whatever the case may be, they're now going in and they're seizing assets of these people. They're seizing their boats, their houses, their money, their land, their property, whatever the case may be. And the people like George Soros, the Obamas, the Clintons, this, that, and the other, when these guys are corrupt, he now has the power to go in and seize this money, so to speak, and to grab it. So these people like Antifa, Black Lives Matter, these guys are not going to protest